about to get started here. All right, hi guys. All right, we're ready for some fundamental boot camp today. So I'm going to teach you a simple warm-up that you can do from anywhere. And I honestly suggest that you do it every single day, whether you're planning on working out or not, just to kind of get your body loosened up and to get, some good blood flow, work out the joints, all that good stuff. So, excuse me, that being said, we're going to start with some nice wide arm circles. I'm going to put on a timer. So doing the timer kind of ensures that we make sure that we're even, doing both directions. We're going to do 20 seconds on and then 10-second little rest period in between. So you want to start with a nice, wide, comfortable stance, okay? Somewhere where you can stand up with your hips nice and tall, core nice and tall, and then we're going to open up, that chest. So you come into these nice wide arm circles. Good. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Good. A few more. 2, 1, rest. Good. Now we're going to take those arms in the opposite direction. 3, 2, 1, go. Good. Make sure you're breathing. If this is your first time taking a boot camp class, you might feel like there's a lot going on. So don't forget to breathe. Good. Keep going. 2, 1, rest. Good. From here, we're going to keep that wide stance. Feet stay glued to the floor. We're going to take a twist with the torso to each side. So you'll feel this in your spine. You'll feel it in the sides of your legs, your ankles. Breathe. 2, 1. Good. From here, if you need to balance on something, go ahead and grab something to balance on. We're going to be doing some leg swings. So we're going back and forward, keeping the chest nice and tall. So you'll feel it activate the glute when you kick back and activate the hamstring when you come forward. Other side. Good. One more. Rest. Awesome. From here, going into ankle rolls. Same thing. Stand up nice and tall. Roll that ankle out. Change direction. Good. Other foot. Change direction. Good. Wrist rolls. So we're going to stay glued at one point as we roll those wrists. Go. Breathe as the heart rate starts to come up. Control that breath. Still standing nice and tall, nice and strong. Change direction with those wrists. Two, 1. Good. From here, we're going to be doing a lateral hop. So try to keep your feet together as much as possible as we go side to side. So I want you to pretend like you have a little pencil here. We're just going to jump over that pencil and back. Okay, so don't jump on the pencil, jump over the pencil. Good. And as you start to become more comfortable with the movement, you can make it a quicker jump, or you can keep them slow if you like. Okay, your choice. And rest. Good. From here, we're going to bring our arms out to a T, nice wide stance for that stability. We're going to do small arm circles forward. Ooh. Good. Keep going, small, small, small. elbows straight, rest. Now we're going to do the same small arm circles, just going in the reverse direction. Out to your T. Let's go. Get warmed up. Whew. Go, go, go. Good, rest. Oh, how are we doing? Feeling nice and warm? See, it was a pretty simple little warm up, right? You could do this any day, anywhere, just to get yourself properly warmed up for your workouts, to help decrease risk of injury, all that good stuff. Also, I personally like when my heart rate's up, it feels really nice. So, from here, we're going to go into our workout portion. So, we have some fundamental movements that we're going to be going through in a Tabata style. So Tabata, hi Maribel. Tabata is going to be 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, similar to our warm-up, right? I'll try to keep things similar for these first couple days. We're going to be doing an alternating Tabata. So we'll have 2 exercises. Round 1, you'll do 1 exercise, and then round 2, we'll switch to the second exercise, and we'll do that back and forth with those 2 exercises for 8 rounds, 4 rounds of each. Okay, again, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, Tabata style. And then we'll take a 90-second, really nice long rest in between, okay? So you're really giving your maximum effort for these 20 seconds. We have a weighted crunch, okay? So before we jump into sit-ups, I really want us to work on kind of building those fundamental abdominal muscles. So that way when we go to sit-ups, we're keeping that proper form, we're not using momentum, we're not lifting up the feet off the floor, and all of that good stuff. So for your weighted crunch today, whichever you like, you can grab a lightweight. If you have a water bottle, that's a little over a pound, that's just gonna add a little bit to that. So we're going to roll down for this weighted crunch, okay? Your heels are close to your hips. Your knees stay straight up and down, okay? I know that we're gonna start working on this core area and your focus will be there, but it's really important to not let the knees fall out or let them come in too much, okay? You're going to press your weight or your water bottle straight up to the sky. And from here, I want you to inhale. And on the exhale, you're going to lift your chest straight up to the sky. Eyes are still looking at the sky, and the weight is pressing straight up. Okay, so that's your weighted crunch. You're going to use the breath. Inhale, exhale as you press up. Okay, so that's our weighted crunch right there. Then we're going to be going into some hand release push-ups. Okay, so the action is going to be on the up. Okay, so I'm going to be teaching you different types of push-ups during this week so that we can work out all of those different muscles that are actually required just to do one single traditional push-up. So we're working on those movements this week to help us build up. So on this one, the action is on the up. Okay, so we're going to lower the chest down to the floor, right? As much as you can, okay? But not too much focus on the lowering down, as much as we are doing the hands up and then press up in one piece. Okay, so what we want to avoid here is lifting the chest up first in almost like a down dog or a cobra, and then having the hips follow, okay? So that's one mistake that we want to avoid. So how do we avoid that? Is you squeeze those glutes, you squeeze through those core muscles, tuck the navel into the spine, and then when you come down and you press up, you're squeezing all of that, and it comes up in one piece, okay? Just like a board or a plank, okay? So, just working on that press up today. I did the knees down version. I'm going to continue to do that. If you need to spice it up and you're able to keep that nice form, feel free to lift your knees up. We're going to get started on this first Tabata here. Weighted crunch, hand release push-up. You guys, are you ready? I hope you are. I'm super excited. Oh. 10 seconds, weighted crunch. Remember, we're going straight up to the sky. Use that breath. It's very important to start incorporating the breath now. And exhale, up. Inhale, back. Exhale, up. Ooh, reach it. Oh my goodness. These look easy, but they're not, right? And rest. Good. From here, weight to the side. Go ahead and just roll on over to your belly. Get those hands ready. They're up. They're released, right? And press up in one piece. Go. Down. Lift those hands. Press. Ugh. There you go. Good. I'm being over dramatic just to, just to show that you should be engaging. Coming down. Lift. Press. And rest. Good. Back to those weighted crunches. 2, 1. Use the breath. Exhale, up. Inhale, down. Good. And rest. Fabulous. Hand release, push up. Onto the belly. Hands up. Go. Hands up. Good. Come on, get one more. Good. Again, I'm super exaggerating on things, but it's because I want these things to stay glued into your head, all right? Exhale, lift up, inhale back. And rest. Hand release. Go. Good. Crunches. One more time of each. Let's go. Up. Down. Rest. And release. Go. Woo! Good job, everyone. All right.
Stopping session.
From here. Great work, everybody. How are we feeling? We got the groove of those 2 movements. Hi. So for our second set, we're going to be doing the same movement. We're just going to switch up the sides on the alternating rounds. So we have a lunge, okay? So all of you people, or some of you are like, yes, I know how to do a lunge, but we're gonna go through and we're gonna break down that lunge today because a lot of the times, even myself personally, I'll catch myself at the gym and I'm just not thinking about it. I'm just going through my lunges and I'm actually like messing up my form, not doing things that are unsafe for my body, and we all do that. So I know if I'm doing it, I know that you guys are doing it as well. So you might not be knowing it or not. For these lunges, okay, take your break, take your water. I'm explaining during your break. We want to keep the chest up nice and tall, okay? What I see a lot is just starting with the upper body, okay? I see a lot of people lunge and then they bring their chest forward, okay? We're not going to do that. We're going to keep the chest up nice and tall. I want you to imagine yourself reaching from the crown of your head like there's a string pulling you straight up to your ceiling constantly, okay? As far as leggies go, we'll start with the feet. So, one foot is forward, that foot is nice and flat down, okay? Opposite foot is going to be in our arch with the heel lift up. So you don't want to, excuse me, you don't want to extend too far out to where your knee is going to go over or overshoot your ankle. See how easy that was to do? We want to make sure that the knee is right on top of the ankle, okay? And this back thigh is actually supposed to be straight up and down. Okay, so how many of you had to fix your form on that? Probably a lot. Because if I don't look at it, it's very easy to do, right? Lunge. Oh, I'm lunging. No, we're not. All right, so knee right over that ankle, and you gotta squeeze in on that back one to make sure it goes straight up and down, okay? So whether you're going all the way to the floor or not, that back thigh is going in that straight up and down motion, and then you're squeezing and pressing either in or back, okay? So we're going to apply that to both sides to keep it simple and to keep it to where you're able to focus on that form more. We're going to do one leg only for 20 seconds, okay? And then we'll switch it over to the other one, all right? So that'll be our full Tabata for this one. Let me grab a quick sip of water and we will get started, lovely people. Another note, to help you keep that balance on those lunges, whether they're forward, back, alternating, squeeze through the abdominal muscles to give you that balance, okay? To give you that strength through that powerhouse region. 10 seconds, we're gonna start with one leg, all right? Shoulders back, core tight, and go. Coming forward, watching, making sure that knee doesn't overshoot the ankle. Back thigh is going straight up and down and back. Same leg. Good, rest. Other side. Shoulders back, don't let that chest lean forward. 3, 2, 1, go. Step forward. Your knee goes right over ankle. Back knee and thigh are straight up and down. Good. There we go, coming down. Knee over ankle. Back thigh is nice and straight up and down. Hi, Robin, good morning. And rest, good. Switching over, back to that other leg. 2, 1, go. Out, knee over ankle, back thigh, straight up and down. Good, forward and back. Okay. Good, rest. Switching it up, other side. 2, 1, go. Good, focus on that form. Don't let that knee overshoot that ankle. Again, we're not going, wah. We are going, wah. All right, keep going. 2, 1, rest. Good, we're halfway through that section. From here, we're going to be doing 4 more, 2 on each side. Let's go. Shoulders back. Remember, we have that imaginary string that's pulling us straight up to the ceiling. Good. Other side. 3, 2, 1, go. Good. So when we're coming back up, it's a hard squeeze through the back of the legs. Make sure that you're engaging through. Once we got that form, engage, engage, engage. Let's do one more. Good. 2 more rounds. Woo-hoo. One each side, one each side. 2, 1, go. Good. Woo. Last leg. Let's go. Good. You're doing awesome. Building that foundation so we can do some more fun lunge things. Good. Shake it out. You got 90 seconds to rest. Fantastic work, everybody, so far. All right. So, take your 90 seconds. We're going to go over some side planks and jumping jacks, okay? So I know that jumping jacks are super familiar to most, okay? A lot of us did them in PE class growing up. But I'm going to go over and we're going to tweak those to make your jumping jack more effective and safer, okay? Because I've actually got injured doing a darn jumping jack, okay? It wasn't fun. It took me weeks to recover. So we're going to be doing some side planks and jumping jacks. So starting with the side planks, we're going to be starting with that form, okay? So whether your arm is fully extended or it's down on the elbow, we're going to be doing down on the elbow today, but if anybody at home wants to spice it up, feel free to do so. You want your shoulder to be over the point that's holding you up, okay? So we don't want to be too far extended this way, forward, plunging forward, or backwards, okay? We want to be straight on top so that it's stacked. Okay, so you want to think, I don't want to be like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? I don't even want to be like a little bit tilted towards the side because that is your whole body load, right? So we want to press it right over and on top of the point that's holding us up. So shoulder over that elbow, okay? If you need to, keep the knee down. You're going to lift that knee and that hip. Press the knee into the floor. Make sure that the hips are stacked. Again, shoulder is right over that elbow. And we want to make sure we're not twisting forward and we're not twisting back. So squeeze up through the side here. Extend out the leg. Ankle, hip, elbow should be in a straight line, okay? A good thing that you could use is you could use the back side of your mat to help make sure that you're lined up for this, okay? So since I'm not there to help you with form, I'm going to set you up the best I can, and I'm going to give you some visual and physical cues that you can use to help fix that form. So my elbow is right on that outside line of my mat, right? I scooch my shoulder to where my shoulder is right over my elbow. My hip, my bottom hip is already sitting on this line, and my extended ankle is out on that far end of my mat. From here, all I have to do is lift, scooch my knee to where it's right underneath my other knee, take a peek. Oh yeah, it's all in line, we're good to go. Okay, so that's with the knee down. If you'd like to, you can extend the bottom ankle out, but same thing, those ankles are gonna be stacked on top of each other. You're still in that nice straight line, okay? Then we have jumping jacks. So for the plank set, those rules go for both sides. And we'll alternate through those. I'm not going to tell you right now because I don't want you to get confused. But so for our jumping jacks, Okay, so what I see a lot of is I see a lot of this. Okay, like some T-Rex arm action going on there. Sorry, 1 second. T-Rex arm action, okay? And another thing I see is a rolling out of the ankles, okay? So like a little, that, okay? So that's actually what happened to me. Is I was super gung-ho. I had just started coaching and I was really excited about jumping jacks being written in the workout because it's like, oh my God, that's what I know. I could totally do that. And so I was teaching and I was looking around, watching everybody, wasn't thinking about my form. It totally rolled my freaking ankle, messed it up for weeks. It was no fun. I had to coach seated with my leg up for a long time. So I don't want that to happen to anybody else. So a few cues that we're gonna do to help the rolling out of the ankles is I want you to imagine yourself landing on the balls of your feet, okay? If you have a problem with rolling out the ankles, I want you to imagine you pressing in towards the inside a little bit, okay? If you naturally kind of land on those balls of your feet anyways, keep doing that. You don't need to do any internal, right? But if you are naturally a person who likes to roll out their ankles, I just want you to imagine you engaging those inner thighs as you're jumping out and landing on the balls of the feet to kind of get that nice straight out, okay, as far as the bottom part is concerned. All right, so don't roll your ankles. Other than that, arms straight out, all right? Elbows aren't bent unless you have some sort of elbow injury or some sort of other thing that prevents you from extending all the way overhead. We don't want to have T-Rex arms. We want to be out and in because that's working all of it. Okay, so we're working down here. We're working all the way up here. Okay, so for our jumping jacks, again, balls of the feet. Try to avoid rolling out those ankles. If jumping out and in is not an option for you right now because maybe you just had a baby or some other things are going on over there, what you can do is what I call a side jack. Okay, you're going to keep doing your jumping jack. It looks really aerobicsy when I look at it on the screen, but still, same thing. You're not rolling out the ankle. You're landing on the balls of the feet, right? Engaging through those inner thigh muscles, okay, to prevent you from having any ankle injury, and then you're also getting the side work, okay? So, enough, I'm sure that was probably like 10 minutes of me talking. Let's get started with our side plank. Again, use your mat for the guide. 10-second countdown. Elbow, hip, and ankle are in a nice straight line. 3, 2, 1, lift. Shoulder is over that elbow, right? Nice and extended, hold. Hips are nice and straight in a stack. We're not too forward or too far back. I like to extend my elbow up towards the ceiling. Helps keep my chest open. Good. From here, jumping jacks. 2, 1, let's go. Out, in, out, in. Good. Let's go, come on. Good, shake it out. Let's switch on over to the other side plank. And lift. Elbow, hip, ankle, straight line. Shoulder over elbow. Rest. Jumping jacks. Nice deep breath. We got this. 2, 1, go. Good, rest. Right, other side. Lift up, hold. So if you're starting to feel comfortable with this knee down plank here, feel free to extend your arm all the way up towards the sky. Shoulders over elbow or over wrist. Good, jumping jacks. 2, 1, go. Let's go, come on. Rest. Other side plank. Lift and hold. Again, if you'd like to lift that arm up, give yourself a little variation. Good. Jumping jacks. 3, 2, 1. Let's finish this Tabata nice and strong. Balls of the feet. Nice big extension with the arms all the way overhead. No T-Rex arms. Save that for when you're playing with your kids. And resting. Good job, everyone. Alrighty. From here, take a little resty rest. Alright. We're going to be going into another exercise as one of the fundamental exercises because we do tons of variations of this one all the time in boot camp. So we're going to be doing hip bridges, okay? Again, I love it that it's familiar to most people, but it's one of those exercises where you could do something just slightly wrong and it's gonna compromise your form. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you where to be engaging, where to set up, and all that good stuff. So, hip bridges, we're gonna be doing two different variations, okay? So, one will be with the feet all the way flat on the floor. The second one will be with the heels up, okay? So, for whatever reason, if you decide that you're not comfortable with heels up, you try it once or twice, feel free to just do regular hip bridges the whole time. But I'm going to be showing that heels up version because that's super fun for me. I love anything where my heels are up, giving me that little extra added balance element, right? And that ankle stability. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's good. So, we'll get started with that in just 1 second. So, for our basic bridge, we are going to lie down to the floor. Ooh. We want our knees to be pointed straight up and down. Okay, so your heels are about 6 to 10-ish inches, depending on your body size, away from your hips. Those feet are pressing into the floor, all right? Your knees are straight up and down. It's very natural once things start happening in this core region for us to bring the knees in or bring the knees out, turn the side of the feet out, do that ankle roll thing that I just talked about. So we don't want to do that, right? We want to keep our mind on engaging through these legs, okay, while you're doing the bridge, pressing all the way through the toes, and a nice hard engage to keep those knees straight up. Hands are flat along your sides because you're going to be pressing into your hands and your forearms as well to be able to lift your hips up. So, hands are nice and long on your sides, knees are staying straight up and down, and we're going to lift the hips and hold. Okay, so if you notice here, you want your knees to be right over those ankles. Okay, so if you need to, you can kind of shift forward or back. I'm looking good in this camera, but not so much in that camera. I'm just going to stay with this camera over here. So squeeze through those glutes here. squeeze through the core. We're pressing into the hands. We're pressing into the feet. Knees are straight up and down. Okay, so that is your bridge. Okay? We're going to have a second version of the bridge where we're going to lift the heels up and press into that bridge. Okay, so when we do the heels up, same kind of rules apply as they do for the jumping jacks. With our ankles, we want to be very safe to avoid that rollout. Okay, I know that there's times occasionally, like in class or yoga class or Pilates class, where we've done things in that inverse or that weird turnout, but this is not one of those times. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on heels up, okay, and straight up. Okay, we don't want them out when we're doing that bridge up, and we don't want them in. Okay, that's actually super painful. So going straight up with those heels, okay, like we're in that bridge position. All right. That's all I gotta say for those. Again, if you need to, you can modify and just do the heels down the whole time, but I will be doing alternating regular hip bridge with the heels up hip bridge to kind of activate some different muscles. All right. 10 seconds. Let's roll down into that first bridge. Press into the feet, press into the hands. Lift up. Good. We gotta make sure knees are over ankles. We have a tight squeeze. Roll it down. Press up. Core tight. Glutes tight. Knees straight up and down. Press into the feet. Press into the hands. And roll it down. Good. From here, heels up. Scooch those toesies in a little bit closer if you'd like to do the heels up. Lift up. Again, knees are over ankles, right? And those ankles are in that straight up position, pressing into the balls of the feet or towards the big toe to avoid that rollout. So press in towards that big toe. Coming down and up one more time. Good. Excellent. Back to that regular bridge. Rolling up. Good, rest. Heels up. And go. Tight squeeze at the top, knees straight up and down, ankles straight up. Press towards that big toe in the center so we don't roll out the ankles. Rest. Lift it up. I'm coming back down, Charlotte. Woo! Goodness gracious. Heels up. Good. Also, bring the hips both up at the same time. I've seen some people kind of twist their hips and lead up with one more than the other. Engage through the core and engage through the back of the legs to make sure that you're lifting those hips up evenly. Okay, this becomes very, very, very important when we start adding in other exercises that are similar versions of the bridge. Doing okay? All right.
Starting session. Stopping session.
Take a break, take a breather, grab some water. So, our last Tabata for this morning will be a fire hydrant exercise, okay? So, I don't know about you, but I'm definitely feeling those inside thigh muscles really working, right? So now we're gonna work out that outside, okay? Give you that nice full roundedness. So, before we start with that, I'm going to teach you a position that we use and do a bunch of different exercises off of in boot camp and in other fields as well. So it's quadruped or hands and knees, right? Again, seems super simple. We've all totally done it before. Let me roll up this a little bit. Okay. So, same rule, just like for the plank. We want the shoulders to be over the wrists, okay? So we're not plunging forward and we're not extending back, okay? We want to be right over those points that are holding us up, okay? Same rule is going to go for those back, the back side as well. So hip over knee, okay? So your knee is your holding up point here. So what we're going to do is we're going to press into the fingertips nice and evenly because it's very easy to get injured in this palm wrist area if we're pressing too far into it. So what I want you to do is I want you to spread out the weight between those fingertips. Okay, this is another thing that I've had personal experience with. Okay, so press into those fingertips, shoulders are over those wrists. Okay. A lot of people, it's very natural to have that cute little archy. Females, all right, more naturally, we have that arch, right, in our back that kind of creates that cute little pop. Well, what we're going to do today is to keep that nice form. I want you to tuck the navel and squeeze it into the spine and engage through those core muscles to give yourself a flat back. Okay, so from all of these, from this whole Tabata that we're going to be doing, I want you to have that nice flat back the entire time. Most of the pressure is going to be on the hands and on the one knee that's left. So as we come out to the side, a few things. You don't want to come out and turn all the way out. We're keeping those hips parallel to the floor, and we're just coming, lifting out to the side and center. Okay, again, we don't want to let the rib cage or the tummy drop. We don't want that booty to lift. We want to tuck the navel into the spine, coming out and in, and you'll definitely feel it in that adductor area, as we call it. Kinesiology, we'll just call it your outer booty area for those of you who are like, what is she saying? Let me grab a little quick sip of my fuel here, and then we'll get started on this last Tabata. All right.
Starting session.
So we're going to switch off. We'll do one Tabata on one side, other Tabata on the other side. Alternate on the sides on each Tabata. And go out to the side and down. Okay, notice I'm not lifting and turning out. I'm not turning my shoulders. My shoulders are square to the floor. My hips are square to the floor. Core is engaged. Remember, we're not perking up that booty. Navel's tucked to the spine. Good. Other leg. Again, spreading out the weight between those fingertips. Go. You'll notice it takes a hard engagement of the core to be able to move that leg out and back in without turning your hips or your shoulders, right? Good. Rest. Other side, I'll give you a side view. Shoulders over wrist, hips over knee, navel tucked to spine. Go. Good. Other side. Hip is over that knee that's staying down there. Go. Don't let the chin drop. Keep that neck in a nice line with the spine. Good. Again, when you're not looking up here for cues, keep that neck nice and long. Okay, nice straight line. And go. Good. Other side. Go. Come on. Good. One more each side. If you need to, you can do a counter wrist stretch in between. Set up. And go. Come on. You've got this. Good. Other side. Good. Great work, everybody. So, when we do those fire hydrants again, another thing, sorry, I just totally thought about it on that last round. When you're going out, we don't want to just let the leg flop back in, okay? When we're going out, we want to control on the way down. Okay, so for next time, we'll remember that. We're going to go into our cool down. We made it. Woohoo! I hope you guys have been getting tons of fundamental basics, and I hope that this has been really, really helpful for you today. I hope that you're noticing the differences in your form and the way that it feels in your body. So let's get started with that cool down. 2 rounds, 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So it's similar to a Tabata, but we're just changing up the length of time that we are doing this exercise. So let me change around my little timer. If you're ever doing Tabata workouts at home, or if you're doing these workouts not with the video, you can just Google Tabata timer. Whether you have an Android or iPhone, there's different ones that come up, and they're usually free. So if you ever want to use these for your workouts, I highly suggest them. I feel like Tabata changed the whole course of the way that I work out personally. So I always like to recommend it. So 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So working from that quadruped position that I was explaining to you is so important. We're going to be doing our cool down from that position, okay? Our core cool down. So starting from that quadruped, again, shoulders over those wrists, hips are over knees, Navel is tucked into that spine for that nice long back there. We're going to start with just the right side, okay? And I want you to extend that right arm straight out and then place it back down, okay? Then what I want you to do is you're going to take the right leg, extend it out from your tailbone, and then place it back underneath, okay? Give me just 1 second, people on Facebook. I'm gonna lower you down for this one. I'm sorry. There we go. All right, hopefully that'll be a little bit better. All right, lovely people. So, just one side. So, for 30 seconds, we're going to lift up just the right arm, place it back down, just the right leg, okay? So your mind only has to think about one side. You're extending from the crown of the head, and then you're extending that leg back like it's an extension from your tailbone, okay? I want you to imagine that back leg as being your tail. Again, no torquing the body, no dropping the ribs, navel to that spine. And we want to avoid rocking back and forth, okay? It's very natural as we start to come out and in, we start to kind of rock or shift. That's why we have that abdominal engagement to be able to help us keep that powerhouse center in the middle nice and stable and avoid that rocking motion, okay? So, first side for 30 seconds, we're going to do just right arm and just right leg, okay? Then for the second set, we're going to do just the left arm and just the left leg, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to do a very, very slow alternating bird dog, okay? So I had a good conversation about this with a fellow coach. Bird dogs aren't something that you do to get a quantity in. It's not something that you do to do fast, to get a high number of reps. You actually feel the engagement and you feel it working more when you take it slower, when you set up your proper form, and when you use the breath and when you engage through more. Okay, so don't be trying to do 5 billion bird dogs here. It's really just for that core engagement and to help kind of work, and we're gonna end up helping balance the body a little bit. So, excuse me. The alternating bird dog, after we do just right side and just left side, will be right arm and left leg, right? We're gonna take it nice and slow, make sure we're not rocking back and forth, then left arm and right leg, and back down, okay? Again, you'll feel it immediately in the core as you have to engage it to avoid rocking side to side. Then we're going into our bicycle crunches, okay? So, for the first round, we're going to have our hands out, lying out to a T. One leg is going to be in a tabletop, okay? So tabletop is going to be knee straight above the hip, and toe and ankle are extended straight out from that knee, okay? So we create a nice 90-degree angle, a half of a box, right? So, opposite leg is going to lift straight up, and it's going to extend straight out. Naturally, when you lift that leg up, what happens? The back starts to arch off the floor, right? So we're going to press that low back down, and we're going to hold those legs there just using the core muscles, okay? Then, knee and ankle are BFFs always, okay? So they're not necessarily touching. With some people's bodies they might, but they're always kind of in close proximity. So we're going to keep that low back glued down, and we're just going to change the legs. And I want you to notice how much of a core workout that is with just the legs, all right? For the second round, I'm going to add a little bit of chest to that. We're just going to lift the chest and keep the legs the same, all right? And then either later this week or at some other time, we'll incorporate the arms, okay? So I want you guys to see how important the foundation of just your lower body and of just gluing that back to the floor is. It's a game changer, okay? All right, 2 rounds, 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off, bird dog, right side. Right arm, right leg. 2, 1, go. Straight from the crown, straight from the tailbone. Hard point for that leg when it's nice and straight. Good, great work. Other side. So remember, shoulders are over those wrists, hips are over the knees, navel's tucked into the spine. Left side only, left side only. Make sure those hips aren't turning when you're bringing that leg straight back. Use those core muscles to keep it stable. Good, rest. Now we're going to go into that slow alternating. So right arm, left leg, left arm with the right leg. 1, go. Slow.
Work.
Don't let the chin drop. Keep the neck nice and long. Core tight. Placing those hands and those knees right back under the point that they're supporting. Good. Chest to the floor, bicycle. First round is legs only. Press the low back down. Knee and ankle are BFFs. Out in that T. Press that back down. Come on. Breathe. Back press down. Make sure you're hitting that 90-degree tabletop with that one leg. Opposite leg is going as straight as we can. Okay.
Rest.
Round 2, bird dog, right side only. Go.
Work.
Good, rest. Other side. Go.
Work.
Good. So when we're bringing that knee back under, make sure we bring it right back under the hip. And when you bring that hand back under, make sure you're bringing it right back under that shoulder. Good. Let's go into the slow alternating. So same thing as like the fire hydrants. You don't want to just flop the arm or the leg back down. Make sure you're coming down with control. So right arm, left leg. Down with control. Other side. Good.
Rest.
All right. So now we're going to do the bicycle legs. We're going to add that crunch. Okay. Woo. Lift the chest. Hands are reaching long. Knee and ankle are BFFs. Glue the low back into the floor. So you have a tiny crunch on the chin here, but not too much. I want you to pretend like you have a small tangerine there, okay? So you want to just lightly hold it there. You don't want to squeeze it and get juice all over yourself. You just want to kind of hold it there underneath your chin. Press that back down. Come on. Give me those legs. Nice and pointed through the toes. Lots of energy. And you're done. Woo! Fantastic work, everybody.
Stopping session.
Thank you all so much for participating. I know that we went a little bit over the time today. Let me know what you guys thought. Did you guys like going through the fundamental movements? Did you find out that maybe you were doing things that weren't the proper form? Or did you just like that little refresher, that little reminder? Let me know. Let me know what you guys thought about it. We're going to be doing classes like this for the rest of the week. So some more fundamentals, just to get those kind of glued into your brain so that you're always moving safe. You have those foundational muscle movements just glued into your head. So that way when we go on to some super duper fun stuff, you guys are being safe and it'll come a little bit more naturally, okay? So thank you guys all so much for coming. I hope you guys had, yay! I hope you guys had a fun time. I totally did. I was, fixing my form too there, so that was good. So take care, you guys. Thanks, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.